This video, I'm going to show you why you should not create your own reality, and I'm going to show you something you can do instead that makes the process so much easier. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do it and you won't go back to the old way. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a paradigm that is more powerful than the way you may have been going about creating your own reality, because it has to do with understanding more about the quantum physics of how things work. Now, when we talk about beliefs and how beliefs create our own reality, it's a language that we use, but the language is incorrect. When we say that beliefs create reality, it assumes that the realities we can experience don't already exist. It almost assumes that there's some long drawn out process for a way that we must then not have a certain thing in our reality to then create it to actually happen, not knowing that it already exists. It's simply that we aren't perceiving of it. Think of it like a movie that has already been filmed, and there are many different versions of that movie that have already been filmed, and you could say, well, we were going to create this version of the film, but the version has already been created. It's simply about putting that film into the film strip, into the slot where the light shines through so that you can then perceive of it. But it would sound funny to say, well, you got to create that movie again. It's like, no, we've already created that version. And in the same way, there are different versions of us that are experiencing different realities. So when we say you have to create your own reality, it comes with the notion that there isn't a parallel reality that exists that isn't that. It already exists. Now, the reason I say this is because many times we hear beliefs create reality. And I remember I used to think that, I used to focus on my beliefs and how they create reality. And it just seemed like such a hard, drawn out process. And even when you think of beliefs, what is a belief? It sounds like some intellectual idea. What is a belief? But I found the process is much easier to understand. It's also much more powerful when we're talking about this whole process. And it has to do with knowing that things really can be easy. It's just about understanding our perception, where our focus is, and understanding this idea. Every reality exists that we can imagine, and our beliefs are what allow those realities in. Think of it like every time you go out into your backyard, it looks like the same exact backyard. But what's happening is we're going into the backyard and we're perceiving of it just a little bit different every time we go back there. But we tell ourselves a story. This is the same backyard as yesterday. This is the same backyard as yesterday. And because of that, we continue to experience the same thing over and over and over again. However, if we were to drop that story, and if we were to understand that every moment as if it's fresh and new, we'd bring a lot more magic and a lot more aliveness into our life. But this is about being aware of the beliefs we have about the process itself. So this is the thing as well when it comes to manifestation. If we believe that manifestation is hard, then it is hard. What our beliefs are about the process has a strong influence over what we experience. I've realized this in my life too, because I do take a lot of action with what I love doing. I do take a lot of action. I make a video every single morning, even though I probably don't have to make a video every day. I'm pretty far ahead on videos, but nonetheless I do it. I do enjoy making podcast episodes, sharing stuff on social media, and this would be considered my job. However, is it that when I take action, it actualizes things into my reality? Or is it also that I have such a strong belief in taking action because I've had my own experience. If I take action, then I get a certain result. Like when I started going full-time on YouTube, I started taking a lot of action. And then I started to get rewarded for that action I was taking. Could it have been that then I started to believe in the process of taking action, and that now, in a way, I'm acting out that taking action and then getting a certain result in reality? And it's mainly that it's my beliefs about that action that's bringing it into my reality. You see, I'm not I'm not thinking that it's only the action. I think it's also the belief in the action. Maybe it's not like, I make a daily video on YouTube. I love making these videos. But part of me believes that I need to keep making a daily video to keep the channel to keep growing. Maybe if I stopped doing daily videos, that would go away. That's my belief, but then I think about it. I catch myself in these beliefs. Maybe it's my belief in that process that is bringing that in my reality. Whatever we believe to be true is being reflected back to us. It's being reflected. Not that we have to create it. It's a reality that already exists, and it's reflecting back to us. You see, this is where the process begins to change, and then we can start to understand how easy manifestation can be. Manifestation can be so much easier, but if you believe manifestation is hard, then it will be hard. If you believe that manifestation takes a lot of hard work, then it will take a lot of hard work. I've been changing my beliefs about work in general, knowing that it can be much easier. I can enjoy the process. I can enjoy making videos. And yes, maybe it still includes the action of taking videos, but I enjoy it. So it doesn't matter to me, even if it does take a little bit of action. But what is your belief about manifestation? Do you believe that it is hard to manifest? Do you believe things don't come easily? Do you believe that you have to take a whole bunch of resistant action to then get results? Because if you believe that that's the case, then you'll find that that is your reality. Your reality is being reflected back to you based upon what you believe. And if you want to change your beliefs, then simply start to understand this notion. Get the notion that it can be easy. It can be easy. And that's what I'm intending to do with this video, is to show you don't have to create your own reality. It already exists. What you can do is imagine the version of you which already exists right now. Imagine that version of you, and then imagine that version of you's thoughts, actions, emotions, and then simply mirror that version of you. Mirror it in your reality now. Some people say, oh, you can model success. I could model Tony Robbins if I want to get a similar result in reality as Tony Robbins. I could model what he's doing. Or what I could do, and I could model the thoughts, behavior, actions, the way he did his live events. I could start to model that, and then I'll eventually get a certain result. That's what a lot of what he teaches is modeling. However, what I'm sharing with you is you can model the best version of yourself using your own imagination. Create your reality. No, it already exists. Model that version of you, and you will then eventually perceive of that reality. Think of it like this. When you go out into public today, if you do, when you go out into public, you may have a certain belief about the way that people perceive of you. You may have a certain belief about your own state, how you feel that day, your own mood. And what will happen is when you go out, you will perceive of the reality that you believe you deserve. You will perceive of the reality based on your state of being, and you will then pick up on the information in your environment based upon those beliefs. So think about that. There's an infinite number of potentials that exist when you go out into public. But the only ones you perceive of are the ones that are in alignment with your beliefs. Your beliefs actualize and then allow you to perceive of what's in alignment. So that brings a new basis to it. What do you believe? Because whatever you believe is going to be what is reflected back to you. You see, that's the thing. All realities exist right now, and the reality you are perceiving of is the potential that has been actualized due to your beliefs. And your beliefs are also your stories. I say stories because the beliefs we have about reality seem very intellectual. The stories about reality we can become aware of. What are the stories we tell ourselves? We realize and understand stories because we understand movies. Think about the movies that you like to watch. The movies you really relate to. Do you relate to the hero in the movies? Do you relate to the damsel in distress? Do you relate to the villain? Do you relate to the cameo? Do you relate to the person that's the best friend of the star of the movie? You see, what do you relate to? Because you may find that some of your story is also in the characters that you identify the most with. And that when you become aware of these different stories that you tell yourself, you have a story about relationships, you have a story about love, you have a story about that of your family, you have a story about how you relate to the world, you have a story about your overarching beliefs for the way reality works. And what I'm sharing with you right now is that you can become aware of your story about manifestation in general. And if you believe that manifestation is very, very hard and difficult, and you need to intellectually understand every single part of the process, and if you believe you have to control everything, then guess what? You will have to control everything, and you will have a big burden on your back, and it will feel like there is so much for you to do because you believe the ego has to do everything. But what if you allowed the process to be easier? What if you allowed yourself to realize that every reality exists now and all you got to do is tune to it? Tune to that radio station. A radio signal is already existing for the reality you want to experience. You can then just tune your radio dial to that frequency and decide that's who you are now. Link up that identity. That's what I did. I literally feel like in the past when I was working that job I didn't care about, going into work every day, to being on autopilot, selling women's shoes, and I was at home and I realized to myself and I said, what is the one thing I can do every single day that would change my life the most over the next year? And in a way I felt like my future version of me reached out to me and said, make a video a day, your life will change. A video a day, no matter what. And that's exactly what I did. I made a video every single day. I lived as that version of me. I said, what does the full-time YouTuber version of me do? Make a video every single day. So I simply decided that's who I am now. And I made a video every single day from that point going forward. And I have since February 2017 because I believe that that is the version of me that I was wiring in. And I simply mirrored that version of me's daily habits. I realized I was making a video every day in a certain way. Even though I was working a 9-to-5 job and I was very busy, I simply made that my dominant reality, my dominant vibration. I lived from the identity of that version of me. That's why I talk a lot about being as if. Be as if. Don't act as if, be as if. This is about your identity. How do you see yourself? And how do you see yourself and realizing whatever you're doing and acting is a temporary thing. Who you are being is who you are. You do, and you are being who you are because it's who you are. End of itself. You are acting because you're playing a role. You are acting to get somewhere that you aren't currently. You are trying to escape the moment if you're acting as if you're doing something with the sake of getting somewhere else. If you are being as if, you are recognizing that version of you already exists. You are imagining that versions of you's thoughts, emotions, habits, actions, and then you mirror it because you decide that's who I am now. Then that's the end of itself. Why do I make daily videos on YouTube? Because if somewhere it gets me in the future? No, I make videos because it's who I am. When you start to do and live from this level, it changes everything because it's not some temporary fix. It's not some temporary thing that you think. It's not something that's fleeting that comes and then goes. It's who you are. You don't get in life the what you think or what you feel. You get in life who you are. Even if you think about something for a certain period of time, if you eventually let those thoughts go because it's not who you are, it fades away. If you are to just eat healthy for 2 weeks and then you go back to your old habits, it was just something you acted as if with. It wasn't permanent. It wasn't really who you are. But if instead you realize, I'm somebody that just eats healthy, guess what? That's a part of your identity. You are somebody that values your body. You are somebody that eats healthy food, not because of the body it will get you, because it is who you are. You respect your own body. You are very mindful and aware of what you put into your body and how that goes into how you feel. And because you are aware of this and because you love yourself, you then act in that way, but you actually are that version of you. Don't create your own reality. Don't assume that the reality you want to experience doesn't already exist, because it does. But don't create your reality mainly because you're implying that it is very difficult to do. You're implying that you have to create something that doesn't already exist out of the field of potentialities. You are assuming that it has to be way harder than it really is, when instead you can just relax. Just understand manifestation can be so easy. For the version of me that makes daily videos, which is the version of me now, making videos is super easy because it's who I am. For me to eat healthy, it is super easy because it is who I am. You see, things will be easy when you decide it's who you are. Things will be hard when you put it on a pedestal and you look at it as some character that is not you now. If you want things to be easy for you, know it's who you are now, commit to it, and know it gets easier. Yes, in the beginning that might be a little bit hard. The first 2 weeks of eating salads and healthy food, it kind of sucks. Because you're eating these healthy foods and there's not as much stimulation when it comes to deep fried foods and heavy foods. The stimulation isn't there. But after about 2 weeks, you start to get used to it. You start to feel the benefits of eating high vibrational food. You start to feel nourished. You start to feel like your taste buds change. You start to actually taste your food in a different way. You enjoy more of the natural whole grain foods or the natural whole foods where you actually feel and taste the wholeness of it. Your taste buds change. But that 2 weeks kind of sucks. And same thing when I started making daily videos on YouTube, I'm like, this is kind of hard. I got to get up every day and make a video and go to a 9-to-5 job. But after about 2 weeks, it starts to click in. You start to say, wait, this is who I am. The passion starts to run through. You start to get the energy from eating the healthy food, and it becomes a part of your identity. So acting as if implies you're going to do it and then go back to the old identity. Being as if is an end of itself. This is who I am now, and it comes with the notion that you can just simply decide that's who I am now because that version of me already exists. I'm going to mirror the thoughts, the habits, the emotions, and the identity of that version of me, and then eventually I will get that reality. Do not create your own reality. Simply realize it already exists, and in the same way that there's many different film strips that exist, you don't have to create it. You know you've already created different versions of your own movie at a higher level. Simply allow it to be easy. Link up that version of you, knowing that you can let things be natural for you. You can let things be easy for you. You can realize your belief about the manifestation process in general, and if you allow it to be easier by knowing it already exists, it will then become easier. So, with this process in general, something that I do help people with is to help you change your story. Change your stories about your life. Change your stories about relationships. Change your stories about your own identity. And I teach something called being as if. I show you how to be the version of you that you prefer to be, and I show you how to let go of the other versions of you, the versions of you that no longer serve. And I do this in something called the Shift Academy. It's my month-to-month coaching program. It is like group coaching with me, where every month I do 2-hour-long group coaching where I bring people on live. You see me interact with other people, and I can even interact with you. You have the potential for that if you join. And what happens is I help people go through their story and to disidentify with the old, to be the new. You wire in that new you. Then you have a mastermind community of people that help you to wire in that new you. You are able to go through this process, and you have other people that see you as this new you, and it helps to build this version of you. I have every single month, you get monthly videos that show you how to wire in this new you. Then what you also get is you get bonus meditations that help you to wire in this new you. And if you join right now at the link below, or by going to aarondoughty.com/theshiftacademy, you will also get in with a Raise Your Vibrational Set Point live event that I did with Leora Alexandra and Victor Otto. You get that for free when you join at that link right now. It was a live event with a live meditation. It's been recorded, plus you see us live in action, plus you see and learn how to raise your vibration, your vibrational set point to a whole new level. You get that for free when you join right now and you go to aarondoughty.com/theshiftacademy. There are no contracts at all. You can cancel at any time with a simple email to me. And what this will do is help you to wire in that new you. When you make a new choice as well, when you make a new choice, you then tend to then go on that parallel reality timeline. Sometimes making a choice as you could be you joining the Shift Academy, because by doing so you get the eco environment of everyone else that helps you wire that in, plus you get me in your corner helping you to wire in that new you, and then showing you that that's who you are now. It's a choice that you make, and one of the ways you can make that choice is by joining the Shift Academy at aarondoughty.com/theshiftacademy. I would love to help you and have you in my inner circle to help you create the life of your dreams by knowing that your dream is who you prefer to be, and I'll show you how to do that. So with that being said, if you like this video, could you also do me a favor? Could you smash that like button? That's also a way that you can show that you don't create your own reality. You just are. And you know that at a deeper level. So smash that like button if you like this type of video. I know it's a little more casual. I'm on my bed right now in Tulum. This is what it looks like around. Other than that, I want to thank you for being here, and as always, I'll see you in the next videos. Peace, much love, and namaste.